Hey my fishes, Courtney Mermaid here and welcome back to my channel. Today's the day. We are answering all of those questions about all of my monofins. Recently over on Instagram, if you're not following me on Instagram, you totally should be. I asked you guys what your most common questions were about my monofin collection or just monofins in general and how they relate to mermaiding and mermaid tails, all that good stuff. And I'm going to show you guys my collection and answer those questions. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna start at the top. They're in no particular order in terms of my favorites or not. Trying not to scratch your floor. Let's start at the top with the Finis Luna. My all-time favorite mermaid monofin ever. Of all of the ones here, I probably should have saved it for last so I could have had the big best for last moment, but let's be honest, I never shut up about it anyway. I love this fin. This is the fin that I use in all of my main tails, and I've been using it for, we're getting on 4 years now, I think. Now the next one I can't show you because it's actually in, like, permanently in a mermaid tail, but it is the Mertailer Fantasy 1, and it is inside here. The one that I have is the blue one, the blue sparkle one. It's very sparkly. The next monofin on my list is the Mahina. I am not a fan of this monofin. I know that a lot of people are. It's nothing that I have against the company or anything. It's just personally, it's so uncomfortable that I just cannot even deal. I like making tail skins for it. I like working with it. It's a great fin to actually work with because it's slippery and it folds. It has a lot of things going for it. Good fin, good propulsion. Okay, the next one is the biggest monofin I own. It is the Minnows, I believe is how it's pronounced. And it's got a cool like whale tail shape at the top, very fancy pants. Now, making our way down the list. I'm gonna tie my hair back because it's wet and it keeps touching me and it's cold. Okay, the next monofin on my list is the Mermaid Linden. I actually have both sizes, the adult size and the original, like Gen 1 kids size is at the bottom. We'll get to it, but this is a wonderful monofin. I really enjoy this fin. I have reviews on all of my monofins. Well, yeah, actually I think on all of the monofins that I've got reviews. Hi! So I will be sure to link my full reviews in the description box down below for you guys to check out afterwards, but this is a wonderful monofin. It's great. It doesn't have a lot in the way of flex. These guys do flex a little bit. It's not really super noticeable in the water, but it is another great monofin. The Fin Fun Amp. So this one barely fits me, which is kind of sad. And though I have done a review on it, I've only ever used it for that review to test it out, to see how I liked it. I still say Fin Fun is the best way to go if you are first getting into mermaiding and you don't really know where to start, because they're reasonably priced. It gives you a taste for what the mermaiding world has to offer before you go and throw down a few $100s, because just there alone, I've got about $1,000 sitting, you know what I mean? Maybe more. So if you, because I'm in Canada, by the way, so like to get the Mertailer monofins here is like insane. But yeah, this was a good fin, just not for my foot size. And for those of you wondering, I'm a size 11 women's, size 9.5 men's in US sizing, and I am a narrow, so like a very, very narrow foot with a high arch. Okay, now I've got two pairs of flippers that I got at my local dive shop. One is for me, just when I'm sort of, you know, farting around at the pool. If I'm mertending, I usually wear a pair of these when I'm in the water filming other mermaids. Eric has the blue pair, so I've got two pairs of these. They're great. They're just great flippers. For those of you who don't know and you haven't watched my How I Became a Mermaid video, all of my original mermaid tails were actually made with two flippers that I glued into the end of my tails. So yeah, flippers was how I got my start. There's the other pair in blue, the Finis foil. And this is a really nice, simple, throw it in your, like, look at how small it is. My dudes, it's so teeny, but it gives you good propulsion, comfort, oh, comfort, yes, baby, comfort. And it's great for at the pool because it doesn't draw too much attention from the authorities who maybe don't like the big monofin flukes and all of these things. So if you're just going, you know, you want to throw on your underwater MP3 player, which I got one for my birthday yesterday. I'm so excited. But this is a really good, just like a training monofin. I also know some mermaids who use it inside of their like big vinyl fluke. I don't know how well it works because you can see it's quite flexible, and I feel like you probably need something a little bit firmer to go in there. She says with a smile, knowing full well there is something special in the mail heading to her at this very moment. There's gonna be a special unboxing coming up, and I'm my first Finis monofin ever was the Finis Rapid. This one is cut to look like this. The original, I probably cut like this much off of it. Love this monofin. It was a great monofin. I wore it with socks, and I did use an elastic band because I had it done up quite tight. I used an elastic because this is huge on me still. Like, this is for my shoe size, but it's still quite big. Great monofin. This was a really popular one back in the day when mermaiding first sort of became a thing, and people were like, oh, monofins, let's use those to make mermaid tails. Everybody was rocking a rapid or a tempo or the wave. Now we get to like the kids slash teenager monofins. Everybody knows this fin. This is the old school finis kids fin. This one had one fatal flaw, one fatal error, which was the point right down the middle, which meant that kids, when they kick really, really hard, would just, you know what I mean? It was reinforced a little bit, but what are you gonna do? I still think it has a super cute shape. I still really love the aesthetic of it. Then we have the other body glove, Mermaid Linden fin. This is the kid size, and yes, I did actually manage to cram my feet into this. Very impressed with the fact that I was able to pull that off. This one comes with, and so does the larger size, they come with like little inserts. The larger size I think came with full neoprene socks, which I don't use because my feet is too big. This was a good kid's fin. I like the design and the style of this one for children. I actually found this in a Canadian Tire. I screamed. I was like, what? But this is the Aquarius. People have mixed feelings about the Aquarius. I loved my Aquarius. Some of my favorite mermaid tails that I've ever made were made for this monofin. It's the most loved of all of my monofins. It's got elastics holding it together. I've been a little bit rough on it. I don't really recommend it for making mermaid tails. Of all of the fins that I have, I can let you know which ones I recommend. The Luna definitely is really easy to make fins for. The Mahina is a little bit more of a challenge to make a tail skin for, but it's not too bad. I would say the Linden isn't totally impossible, but because it's sticky, it's got the rubber sides are sticky, and because it doesn't fold, it is a little bit more challenging than your average monofin. So, okay, and now for the questions. Akira A. San asked me, don't your legs show through the fabric when your feet are as far apart as they are with the Finis Luna? It really depends, and honestly, you're gonna run into this no matter what fin you use. I also make my tail skins really tight, and that helps to mitigate that a little bit. As your tail ages, you might notice it, but that's just kind of part of the mermaid game. Fearless Love 723 asks, what is your most comfortable fin? Fastest, best looking, and easiest to care for? So my most comfortable fin is, without a doubt, for me personally, the Finis Luna. This fin fits my feet like it was made for my feet, and I freaking love it. I also personally like the look of the Finis fin the best for its simplicity. It works best for what I personally like and my style. Because remember, I was somebody who started with flippers, and this has a bit of that sort of nostalgic kind of vibe for me. Plus it's green and blue, guys. I'm the green and blue mermaid, like, hello. What gives me the most propulsion is going to be probably the stiffer blades, but because I cramp so quickly, I can't wear them for as long. So if I do go fast, it's kind of like she goes fast and then she gets out of the pool and goes home. Okay, so Widget the Mermaid asks, which monofin fits your feet the best? Well, I just answered that, didn't I? Damn it, Spock asks, if you could make your own monofin, what would it look like? Shape, color, size? What would it be made of? Floppy silicone, stiff silicone, plastic, and what would the construction of the foot holes look like? Also, you can't just say it would be the Luna. That's not fair because I love the Luna. No, I do have ideas for what I think improvements could be to a fin like the Luna already. I'm not gonna go super into that because I feel like that's like an entirely different video talking about designing my own thing. I'm more talking about like what I'm already making, but I thank you for your question. Curious Chiroptera, gosh, I hope I'm saying your guys' names right. Sorry. I have bigger feet. What monofins do you think might be best? Also, how do you prevent blistering? First of all, the right size monofin will make a huge difference. If you're cramming your feet into a fin that's not fitting you, like it's just gonna be a horrible experience and be really uncomfortable. Finding the right fin to fit your feet. Read a lot of reviews, look up what the actual sizing is, and see if people have commented on whether or not the sizing is accurate, because sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, this will definitely fit your size foot, and you're like, or you'll be lucky like me because the Luna only goes up to a size 10 and I'm a size 11, but I fit in the Luna. You know, I know that Mertailor has a couple of good options, and I do know like he has a range of sizing. I would say the biggest foot pocket monofin that I have here in my collection is of course the minnows. I do want to do a full video talking about this, but this goes up to a 13 or a 14 men's, I think. The next biggest one that I have, the Finis Rapid, is the next biggest one that I have, and it doesn't have the sizing on the back of it, unfortunately. Throw on a pair of socks if you're finding it's not comfortable. A nice pair of spandex socks, thin neoprene socks. I used to wear regular socks in my flippers when I was first getting into the whole mermaid thing. That was how I used to roll. So there's a couple of different options there. Chris Reeser, 95, asks, what is the monofin you get the most bang for your buck in terms of price for quality of monofin? You get what you pay for. You're going for silicone, you're going for comfort, you want some flop, you want some durability, you want some dexterity. I would say, of course, hello, the Luna is a great monofin for that look. It gives you a little bit more realism while still being comfortable, while being reasonably priced. I would say if you're going for a more stiffer blade, but so you want a little more speed, but you still want comfort and you still want all of these things, I do think that the Linden monofin will have you covered there in terms of its pricing. The Mahina, I am so hesitant to recommend the Mahina just because it's so uncomfortable for me, and I can't recommend something that I don't personally use all the time and love and all of those things. So this one, I have of course my splash tail for this monofin, and I do still use and love this monofin as well. Let's be honest, 14 asks, do all tails fit over one monofin? Why is there a need for different monofins? In general, they just confuse me, to be honest. Different tail skins will obviously have been made for different monofins and will have like different measurements, and there's such a variety, I find, because there's a variety of humans. Like there isn't just one pair of shoes out there for people to buy. The mermaid community has a need for a lot of different monofins because there is such a wide array of different kinds of people with different foot needs and sizes and shapes and all of these things, and a style preference and all of that. So no, not one monofin won't fit in all tail skins, although you will find some that will be compatible with other tail skins. Again, you do run the risk of damaging your tail skin if you're swapping monofins and doing all this stuff all the time, but that's a whole other video. That's a whole other video. Cigarettes and Sage asks, I've always been curious about propulsion and power. It is the main thing I look for in a monofin. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. How important is propulsion of the fin? Which of your fins has the most and least power? Does the power of the fin affect the comfort of your feet? Oh, this is so many yeses and nos to this. I love it. Okay, I know that most mermaids, I feel like, just want to go fast. Now, that is not my aim, that is not my goal. So if you're somebody who's like, Courtney, let's go fast. No, as I've built up my strength, I find that now I can go faster in the Luna. I can keep up with other mermaids, no problem, but it's all about learning the tool that you have. You gotta build up, you gotta learn your strengths and your weaknesses of every monofin that you use, because every monofin is gonna have a slightly different way of swimming. I would say this fin or the Mahina would be your fast babies that are the most popular ones that mermaids use now. I think of all of the fins, this one gives a lot of propulsion, the Rapid for sure. You are also going to see the minnows. I have been swimming in it, and 2 kicks gets me across the pool. It's crazy, but it is such a big fin. By going slow, you go fast, so it doesn't really make you feel like you're going fast, but you do cruise like crazy in this fin. This fin's just nuts. Again, I'm gonna do a video about it specifically because I got lots to say about that monofin. Propulsion is important if it's what's important to you. So I would also say it's important if you're gonna have a tail skin with a lot of extra bits and a lot of extra pieces and things, and you're gonna want propulsion so that you don't sink and you don't have a problem. You know, propulsion makes a difference if you're swimming out in the ocean. If you're just gonna hug your Luna for the rest of the video, put it down, Courtney. If you're out in the ocean and you're dealing with different currents and tides and the whole thing, and you wanna be a little bit safer there, you're gonna wanna go for a bigger, stiffer blade. Merman Airwind Reef, am I even close? I'm sorry if I'm not. Mine is, what's the biggest fin you own? So of course, like I said before, the biggest fin that I own is the minnow. Like, I can't, like, look at how it takes up the entire screen. Latu's belly dancer Enrico wants to know, are you going to add other monofins? Yes, I am. And that's all you're gonna know for now. Livy Alves, I'm so sorry. I'm saying it horribly. How do you put a finis foil in a finfolk tail? That's a whole other video, and I don't have a finfolk tail. I am sorry. If I can find a video showing somebody doing it, I will link to it down below. Mermaid Ina, favorite cheap monofin versus favorite expensive one. I think the most expensive monofin I've ever been swimming in was probably the Mertailor Fantasy 2, and I don't actually own that monofin, so I can't show it to you here, but I am working on a review of it because I did actually quite like it, and I do think think of the more expensive fins that I've tried, I do think that one was quite fun, but of course I don't own it, so I can't show it to you. I'm so sorry. I think of my less expensive monofins, I think the foil is less expensive. I can't remember, I bought it so long ago now, but I do love this monofin. Great training monofin. If you're looking for more of like the athletic side of it and you want to do something a little bit more sporty with mermaiding, like this is a great monofin to go. Miranda Mounts for, how is the fantasy fin from the Mertailor? Is the size good and how does it swim? Love you, Courtney, you inspire me to be the best mermaid I could be. So mermaid, yes, I love it. I do love that this fin loves me though. It always does that. It's like, oh, I love you. Like, yes, you're very cute. It has a great size. It is attractive. I do love how it feels kind of like, you know, because I can't do the silicone mermaid tail thing, so it's kind of fun that I've got like a really like silicone feeling like all the other plus you want to be a Mertailor mermaid too, just a little bit. I do like it. I do think as the collector of monofins as well, I do feel like at least the fantasy one for me was a must-have for my collection because of the shape. It just has that siren mermaid tail shape that I wanted so bad, and I really love it. The propulsion is not great. Mine's been durable so far. I would recommend. Mermaid Faith, thoughts on the foil? Well, I have given all the thoughts on the foil. Great training monofin, definitely like it. Would recommend it as a training tool. Mermaid, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. I need to know which has the tallest foot pockets because I have super high arched feet and I won't fit in most monofins. I'm not without lots of pain and blisters anyways. The tallest foot pocket of all of the ones that I have is not gonna be the Luna, and it's probably gonna be a toss-up between the Rapid and the Minnows, also just because it's really wide, like they're really wide, and it has quite a tall foot pocket as well. Cosby Play Vancouver, which is Mermaid Kim, if you didn't know, you should go follow her. Which fin gives you, from experience, the least amount of foot cramping, and how do you prevent cramping to the best you can? So the Luna, job one. Job two, make sure that you've keeping your magnesium, your calcium, and your potassium levels up. Keep an electrolyte beverage with you. I have a recipe. I should put it somewhere. I should probably make a blog post for it because I get asked about it so much. It's an electrolyte drink that I make for myself. I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be a blog post coming up. Stay tuned for that. If you're not following my blog, VancouverMermaid.com, making sure that you're staying hydrated. Eat before you hit the pool, but not like right before you hit the pool. Give yourself like an hour to 2 hours before you hit the pool so that everything can digest. Make sure you're not eating a lot of really junky, like sugar-laden, crappy foods. Carbs are good for when you're about to hit the pool, but I mean like good carbs. Don't go down like a thing of pop and a big bag of chips because that's not doing anybody any good at the pool. Okay, why Alice, of course, asks, which fin do you find gives you the least drag and the most propulsion? So we kind of covered that already. Most propulsion, at least, I still go between the Luna and the Linden for that because those are the two most common fins that I use. Sukira Prinsu asks, I'm so sorry, again, I'm not really good with the pronunciation. The green pair, where did you get it from? So the green one is from finisswim.com. It is available on Amazon as well, but if you get it over at finisswim.com, you can use my special discount code, which is Mermaid Courtney. We'll get you 20% off your purchase. We're coming up to the last two. Patris Angel asks, I am after a comfortable fin that I can use barefoot. Any of these fins can be used barefoot. The problem is you won't really know until you try them out to see which one, because you may think like what works for me might not necessarily work for you depending on how your foot is shaped in comparison to how my foot is shaped. I wear all of my monofins currently barefoot. Okay, and the last question on my list, the Real Mermaid Live, is the Luna fin stiff enough to give you good propulsion? It looks like it might be kind of flopsy. For a lot of people, including myself when I first started out with it, I would say I felt like, oh, am I moving? Like I'm having to work kind of hard for this. Am I going? It's just a different feeling than other monofins. And I would say I don't have a hard time keeping up with other mermaids because I have gotten used to it and I've strengthened what I needed to strengthen so that I could go fast in the Luna. But the Luna is definitely, like, I'll show you a comparison. So this is the Luna in terms of floppiness. I'll show you the Mertailor. But this is the Mertailor. Very floppy. This is the Mahina, okay? So it does get like a little, I think where some people have a problem with this particular monofin is if you kick too hard, it goes like that. But I've also heard that different colors of this fin have different like thickness and floppability. Floppability? The Luna is definitely one of the floppier fins, and I find it has such a nice wave. If you are training and you are practicing and you're taking the time to learn how to actually get the full, like, you can't see, the full things, but I'm doing it. I'm going all the way through the motion. You will learn how to move well in any monofin that you use, but it does take time. Don't ever just assume you're gonna throw it on, jump in the pool, and swim off into the sunset. That's not an accurate representation of the time and patience that goes into mermaiding. Take the time to really hone your craft. Like if this is a hobby or if this is your profession or what this is for you, it's gonna be different for everybody, but really take the time to grow as a mermaid. Be patient with yourself. Know that it doesn't just happen overnight. Yes, some people are ridiculously talented. It doesn't come easily to everyone. It takes time. And I'm definitely one of those people. It takes time and patience. Thank you guys so much for asking all of those amazing questions. I hope I gave you a nice look at all the monofins and I give you good answers. If you have more questions, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below, and maybe I'll make a follow-up or I'll answer as many of them as I can. Yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and I love you all, my fishes. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video. Happy swimming! Bye!